the game that I've made a bunch of videos on. Well, I don't know about a bunch, but I've definitely made videos on. I want to talk about Mario 35. This was a game that I actually could play every single day, not get bored of. I know some people got tired of it quicker, but there's reasons why I think that happened. I mean, some people would have got bored of it anyway, but here's the whole lowdown or rundown of Mario 35 for me. So, first of all, I think one of the biggest things about the game that they should have really tried to prevent or really showcase how this actually worked, because I totally get why people weren't doing this, is that people were complaining that you would just get like 1-1 all the time. The reason that that was happening was because there was like some weird animal that I just heard. I don't know if that went through the mic. The reason why that was happening is because when it would show the beginning screen and you selected a level, that put your level in the pool of levels that could come up. So a lot of people just selected 1-1, and then 1-1 was in that pool. And like, I believe 1-1, I think it was like always the default selected one. So unless if you actually moved around on the menu, you wouldn't end up having a different level in the pool. So a lot of times it was 1-1. So that's that out of the way. But there was so much potential in Mario 35. It's insane. And it's so weird because all of the 99s that have come out, Pac-Man 99, Tetris 99, F-Zero 99, all of those, you can still play them. Mario 35, right from the get-go, right when they announced it in that direct, they said, for a limited time. Why? The game was used to advertise Nintendo's online service, but it's for a limited time. Why? There's definitely a chunk of us that would have paid to play that game. It was so much fun, and it had so much potential. They could have added other Mario Bros. Games. They could have added alternate costumes you could buy with the coins that you got. Like, you keep playing, and maybe it's like blue coins. Like, so maybe like like the coins you get in the game could be used to buy like something else or something. But then it's like if you win, you get like 5 blue coins, and then you could use those coins to buy like alternate costumes, different characters. It'd be a ton of fun, and it would give incentive to play. And if they wanted to make money on it, I mean, they could also be like, hey, if you want to buy blue coins, you can. There was definitely avenues that they could have made profit on it and ways they could have kept people playing the game. The game, the way it was, as long as they had, better showcase that if people selected different levels, that would go into the pool of levels that you could play. If they were to have done that, even without that, I mean, I honestly probably would have been playing it for, I don't know. I mean, I can't say I would have been playing it for like the past 4 years. I don't know. But it was a game that I hadn't felt this in a while, where it's like Smash Bros. Smash Bros. For me is a game that like I always go back to. I just always do. Mario Kart 8 has gotten old to me. Like I can't really play that anymore. Smash is one that no matter how long I take a break from, I have moments where I end up playing it again. Mario 35 definitely would have been that for me. It was a ton of fun to just go on because you never knew what was going to happen. Mario Kart gets kind of samey, at least for me, where it kind of becomes like, all right, like I'm in the front, gonna get hit with a blue shell, or like, I'm kind of, I'm getting screwed by items. I'm way in the back. Like, it becomes samey for me. Whereas like Smash Bros, which like Smash Bros sometimes gets samey, but there's enough things that happen where it's like, whoa, like that was crazy, or whoa, I can't believe I won this match. Like there's elements where it kind of keeps you going on playing it. Mario 35 had that too. There were so many wacky things that would happen where it was like, I got this item sent to that person at the right time and then they lost, or like, I remember like there's highlights of it on the channel. I have to go and make sure that I still have that playlist made. If not, I'll go make it. But I had highlights of playing that game where like there was stuff that happened where like it was funny. There was stuff that happened where it was like, I can't believe this just happened. Like the timer would end on someone's screen at like the perfect time, or like, I think that's what had happened was there was a match that I had where like the timer ended on the other person's screen, like right when I was going to die in a pit or something like that. and I ended up winning the game because I managed to not die before they did. Like, there's just so many things that could happen in that game that would just keep me coming back to it. And to think if they would have taken that and taken it further and been like, here's Mario Bros. 3. Here's Lost Levels. Here's Mario Bros. 2. I mean, there's so many things they could have done with that. To me, the possibilities were endless, and they didn't even have to stop there. I mean, they could have done it with Donkey Kong Country. They could have done it. Would Kirby have worked? I don't know if Kirby might be like, that one might not work because you could just fly at the top, so maybe not that one. But like, I feel like this was a thing that, see, the thing with Nintendo is that they kind of rule the old school realm where it's like they've got the Mario, they've got the Donkey Kong Country. So it's like they have the titles that would lend themselves so perfectly to these types of games that you see. There's Tetris 99, Pac-Man 99, well, F-Zero's theirs, but like that, and F-Zero, like F-Zero worked for them. So like, there's probably games I'm not even thinking of, and I'm not saying that other games can't do it. I'm just saying that like Nintendo has the like perfect titles to do these wacky things with. And then they show that they're willing to try it and then do nothing with it. I am still baffled that Mario 35 is something that came out and is completely gone now. They made that entire thing, which, like, you know, I mean, I don't know how difficult it was. I mean, all the levels were already made. So, like, I don't know how difficult it was to make that. But the point being was they went through all that trouble for what? All that trouble for what? To celebrate Mario's 35? That's it? And now it's just going to be a thing in the past? It's just a piece of history? Why? They could have done so much more with it. And even with everything I just said, they even also had like wacky modes that would come out at random times. What was it? I think it was called like Frantic mode or something. There was a thing where it was like a special mode that you could play during certain times where like the mode would change. So you had the regular mode and then like incentive to hop on to check out the crazy mode or whatever it was. So like they were even trying then to make it not just plain Jane. Like they literally put effort in to give incentive to go on to then just shut it down. And I remember when they did that, I think the hope was like, oh, well, they'll probably just release like a full version with it being 99. But they never did anything with it. And then they made F-Zero 99, which shows that they're still interested in that field of style of game, but nothing with Mario? When they literally had one. That's the thing that makes no sense, is like, I can understand this if it was like they made F-Zero 99 and then it was like, whoa, imagine if they did this with Mario. But they literally did. And then they just got rid of it. I don't get it. There was potential money there. And then like F-Zero 99 is free. And I believe their thought process is like, oh, it advertises the Nintendo Switch Online. But then with that logic, isn't that what Mario 35 did? And then it's like, well, did they just not want to keep it because it being called Mario 35 doesn't fall in line with like the 99s? But then it's like, wouldn't it have worked if they made it 99? And couldn't that have been a version that maybe you pay for? Or maybe, like I said, they could have it to be where, for some reason, Nintendo is just so anti-alternate costumes. I don't know why. Like, if they want to make profit on a free-to-play game, just let us buy costumes. Like, people, no matter what, even people that are like, dude, who would buy a costume for this game? Someone will do it. There's always someone that'll do it. So if it's literally just them making some pixels, some people out there are going to buy them. I probably would. If they had all of the amiibo costumes available for Mario Bros. 35, I would have bought K. Rool. Well, K. Rool wasn't one, but I probably would have bought some. I would have been like, this game rules. I'm going to buy some. They could have been like 99 cents each. Could have bought one. And I'm sure other people would have too. I don't know what else they could have done money-wise, because if they paywalled other Mario Bros. Games, like Mario Bros. 3 and stuff like that, I think at that point, it wouldn't make sense because, or it might not work because if not enough people bought it, then, you know, you wouldn't be able to find matches. But maybe they could do it to where you could buy different themes. So like when you're playing Mario Bros 35, you could buy like a Mario All-Stars theme, and all of the like enemies and stuff look like All-Stars because the game would function the same. It just has a new paint over it. So like there's literally ways they could have made profit on it. So I know at the end of the day, it's like, dude, you are just rambling about a game, and you've been rambling about it for a long time, not only in this video, but just in general, because I have not let this game go. But it is literally one of my favorite games I've played. I'm not even joking. I had so much fun playing that game, and they got rid of it. Just give me a reason. Just give me a reason, and I'd feel a little bit better. Oh, there wasn't enough traction on it. There wasn't enough interest in it. Something. But all of those reasons wouldn't even make sense because they said right out the gate, before it even was released, that it was a timed event thing. It was a timed availability thing. Why? At least, I know people aren't a fan of this, but at least when it came to the Mario All-Stars package of, when I was talking about Mario All-Stars before, I was talking about the Super Nintendo thing, at least when they did the Mario All-Stars 3D Mario thing, 3D Mario All-Stars. At least when they did that, you could understand like, okay, I don't like this practice, but they're doing it to increase profit because you could only buy it from a certain period of time. Mario 35 was free, so that wasn't even in the equation. I just don't understand why they would have went through the trouble of making something that ended up being a ton of fun to only be available for a limited time right away. Because like, even if it was like, oh, we don't anticipate a lot of people playing it, which then you could argue, well, maybe not a lot of people did. But like, I would like to think that there were enough people playing it that Nintendo could have been like, oh, wow, I guess there's interest in this. Maybe we should keep it up. Like, what were they losing? Like, you could say like, well, it's costing them money on the servers and they're not making that. See, like, this is where none of the arguments make sense to me because they have F-Zero 99. And the way I'm pretty sure F-Zero 99 works is that it's trying to incentivize getting the Nintendo Switch Online service, like paying for the service. So Mario 35 would have just added to that. It would have been another reason to buy the service. And that's where they could have added other Mario Bros games and have more incentive of getting the online service because it's like, hey, look, we have this fun game and we keep adding features to it. Or if they just wanted to make pure profit, I guess technically it's like pure profit because you have to have the Nintendo Switch Online to play it and you have to pay for the Nintendo Switch Online. But they could have also had it to be where, hey, you can also get costumes. Sorry, I just stopped for a second because I was thinking, I guess maybe it's not technically free to play because you have to pay for the Nintendo Switch Online to be able to play it. But it's a game that comes with the service, and that game was all online anyway. So like you had to have that to play it. They could have also made profit on having costumes. I just don't understand. At least if it was so bare bones that it literally only had 1-1 and that was the entire game, I'd get it. But it literally had every single level from Mario Bros. They went through the time to actually add, like, there was like a thing where like you kind of ranked up. There was a graph that, sorry, I hit the mic. There was a graph that showed like your stats. You could look at, there was a freaking line graph. They went through and like, you could argue like, well, that's not that hard to do, Marcin. But it's the fact that they went through and then they added like the Frantic mode thing. They went through and added things to give a reason to play. They didn't make it this major bare bones thing. There was actually stuff in it. Like, I think F-Zero 99 might have less, well, I don't know. That might not be a fair comparison. But there's a chance that F-Zero 99 has less stuff in it than Mario Bros 35. And F-Zero 99, as far as I know, is not going to go anywhere. It's going to be available for as long as the Switch is available. The Nintendo Switch Online. Mario Bros 35, only available for a limited time. And then that was it. No info on why that was the case. Like, at least maybe if they told us, like, hey, we're actually going to come up with a full version. Like, wouldn't it have been so cool if they had, like, a thing where they were like, we know some of you may have been disappointed that we shut the servers down for Mario 35. But please take a look at this. and then they snap their fingers, and then I made like a gun thing. I didn't mean to do that. They snap their fingers, and then it's like this amazing trailer of Mario Bros. 99, and it has a bunch of new stuff in it. And I'd like to emphasize, it wouldn't even have to have a bunch of stuff in it for me to want it. But like, if they just showed a trailer and it just had exciting stuff, it would have just been so cool. It would have been hype. I would love to know the actual numbers of people who were playing it. I remember when I was playing it, I don't think I ever had an issue with having a full room. I think I always had a full room. So I would imagine that there were plenty of people playing it. Well, I guess it was 35, so it's not as intense as 99, getting that many players. But as far as I remember, never had an issue filling out the room. I'd love to know the actual numbers of it. And I'd love to know why Nintendo decided to just let the game just go away. And again, from the get-go plan on not even keeping it available. I'd love to know their reasoning. I'd love to know what you guys think of this in the comment section down below. I'd love to know if you guys had really liked this game or you were hoping for more or whatever. Let me know. I'm curious, and take care.